What's going on, guys? I'm Caleb Bloor with Invictus Powerlifting. I'm here with Chris Christensen today, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Jared Dale Foundation and just kind of how it got started and what this meet is all about. So, first off, Chris, how did you get started in powerlifting?
So I started out, I've been lifting, just weightlifting for a long time. Kind of got in, just really became a huge part of my life. Got into powerlifting, really probably about 2002, 2003, and kind of fell through, my way trying to figure it out. Worked with a couple different coaches before I'd come to Jared, but really had some incredible coaches along the way that really kind of helped me and guided me to kind of get to where I am. And still, it's a journey to kind of move forward. So,
For sure, for sure. Well, how did you get to know Jared?
so Jared was a coach in my area that I had actually met at a couple different meets, and he was always so. If once you got to know Jared, he was very personable, very kind, just an incredible human. But he definitely kind of had a little bit of a harder exterior. So if you didn't like get to know him at first, so it was a while before I got to really get to know him better. When I started training under him, it would have been 2013. 2014, we started working together, and from there, we clicked, got along great. Just was an incredible individual. So,
Yeah. I never got to meet Jared. He was gone before I really got big into all
yeah.
this. Do you have any cool stories about Jared? Anything
Oh man,
funny,
just
cool,
just
crazy?
intensity. It was one of those just in the gym. It was another level. Just he absolutely loved it. That was his element, and just was an absolute monster. Was so comfortable with training, with working with people. He he's just an absolute beast. So really, when I first started benching with him, it was one of those like just he was doing stuff that I had no idea. Just
Yeah.
impressive, very impressive.
Yeah.
On the personal side, he was kind of a big nerd. So huge comic book guy.
Okay.
Loved X-Men. Wolverine was his favorite character. But once you get to meet kind of the person, I saw him as a powerlifter that I admired for the longest time. Then I actually got to meet him. Just a much cooler individual than I thought that he would be. So,
That's so cool. Well, getting into the foundation, I don't know a whole lot about it, but he had kind of started planning on creating the foundation before he passed. Is that right?
yes, so we had talked multiple times about figuring out a way to kind of either bring kids in, work with different camps or something like that, that would eventually bring um, people that had an interest in or wanted to get into powerlifting but they didn't know how, with programming, with all that kind of stuff. And so he kind of had a passion that he would like to pull in. We had actually just started working with the Special Olympics right before he passed, and he was wanting to get involved with that.
Okay.
Because it was an opportunity to kind of work with kids, but then also, kind of segue that into doing possible camps and different things. And he never referred to it as a foundation, but just he wanted to
Right.
give back, wanted to get kids that were, didn't have the opportunity and or just didn't know how, but had the interest to kind of facilitate that.
Right. So, who are the people that this goes to? What kids does it go to help?
So that's something we're still kind of working through as far as parameters and where it all goes. Really, it's kind of the like younger generation wanting to get into it, first time lifters. So that's where we don't have a set criteria as of yet, and it's still very early on with all of it. But really, I think the desire is to give people that don't have the means the opportunity, kind of cover costs for meet admissions.
Powerlifting's expensive.
Yes, it can be belts, singlets, wraps, all that stuff. Gym memberships. There's a lot that goes into that. The foundation, I think. The vision is to at some point be able to be in a place to kind of sponsor kids to, from start to finish, preps to meets, get them the gear that they need, potentially the programming they need, and kind of like, hey, if you have a desire to do this, then we have means to make it happen.
That's super cool. So this goes towards the foundation?
Yes. So every meet that we've had since this started, since Jared passed, all proceeds have been kind of put aside and then put towards the meets that have followed, and then sponsoring kids and kind of try to build up and find individuals. We had, I think, 4 or 5 that we sponsored last year, and then the year before that we had a couple. But it's kind of it's growing. Definitely, we're still learning. It's early on,
Yeah.
but that's the desire. Yes, sir.
That's super cool. So is there a way to get a hold of you guys, or how would these kids get a hold of you guys to know if they meet the criteria? Or
Yeah, so there's an application process that I believe is on the RBC page. So there's a link that you can click there, and there's an application process to kind of go through and find out if you meet the criteria, and or if we have the opportunity to work with you. So because that's the thing, is still early on, so we don't have the means to work with everybody. We would love to,
Right.
but at the same time, it's it's definitely there for that purpose. So
Right.
we'll basically sponsor as many people that fit until the money's out, and then hopefully build back up and be able to sponsor that. So.
Sweet. Do you have any cool stories about how this has helped somebody? Any like testimonials, anything like that?
Oh man, we had last meet we ended up having I think 4 or 5 that we ended up helping showed up to the meet. A lot of them didn't have singlets, didn't have the long socks, that kind of thing. So the foundation was able to pick up, and thankfully Shirley carries all that stuff.
Yes.
Here at the meets with Invictus. So we were able to
Powerlifting.net.
It's fantastic gear. So we were able to sponsor them, grab their gear they needed to keep them in the meet, be able to meet the criteria they needed to. So
Oh, that is super cool.
Yep.
Is there a place that people can just go to donate to?
I don't know. Not yet. Not yet. We don't have a GoFundMe or anything yet.
Okay.
We need that. So, but no, typically it's been just here at the meets. By showing support, sponsoring that, or like showing support by paying for the meet, the entry fees, and then any donation that we've had that we've just put it back towards the meet. So.
Well, that is super cool. This thing sounds like a super cool cause, and man, I'm glad you guys are doing this.
I appreciate it.
Super cool.
And then just definitely, it's something Jared wanted to do, and it's a good way to kind of keep his memory alive and keep his vision. So keep going. So he was an incredible individual, and very blessed to have known him. So
For sure. Well, guys, go check them out on the RBC page. Is that on Facebook or?
yes, so it's Republic Barbell Club on Facebook, and the link should be on there. And if not, we'll get something on there. So.
All right, guys. These dudes are some incredible dudes that have started this thing. It goes to a great cause. Go check them out, and we'll hopefully find a way to make a place for you to donate as well.
Sponsor some more kids. So, and that's the thing, is it's powerlifting. I think has saved so many of us a lot of heartache and just giving us purpose. And so if we can give that back, that's for sure. The game.
That is awesome. All righty. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you. That'll help. I'm down for it.
Hey, they want to know why you're squinting one eye.
That's my Quasimodo eye.
That's awesome.
All right, back to it.